All right. Hello, everyone. This is Annette. You might know me as Nettersplays, and I have a few guests here. We're a part of the all-inclusive game chat. So we have Mandi and Caryl. If you guys want to introduce yourselves real quick.
Go ahead, Caryl. You go first.
Okay, sure. Sorry for the delay. I had our own chat live, and then I started hearing Annette twice, and I wasn't sure which one was happening right now. Okay, but yeah, hi, I'm Caryl, also known as Caryl Has No Tan. That's where you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. That's me, Caryl.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go. So I'm Mandi, also known as Board Gaming Pinup Girl, although not today. It's like Kigurumi Mandi. You can find me on To Die For Games, but mostly as of late on the Dice Tower, especially the podcast with Miss Suzanne Sheldon.
Yay. So we wanted to talk and catch up with things, and since our last chat, we went to two different conventions. We went to BGG Con, well, I did, and then the both of you went to PAX Unplugged. So we wanted to just chat about it, kind of talk about our experiences and stuff. And also, it's not going to be a versus conversation. I mean, they're both cons, so they're both great. But we wanted to do like a comparison and analysis of the two conventions and see what was different, especially since PAX Unplugged was new.
Exactly.
So, but before we go into that conversation, we always have games that we've played recently. So we'll go ahead and talk about those games first. So I'll go ahead and start it off and talk to you about Harvest Island. Now, I just played this last night as a two-player game. Have you played this at all?
I haven't.
I've seen the box art. It looks gorgeous.
I haven't.
Oh, gosh. I wish I had the box right in front of me. I usually am prepared, but the artwork is great. It kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know, the artwork is great. Just look it up. It's Harvest Island, and it's a card game, but you're pretty much set collecting. And what you're doing is you're kind of having these cards, and it plays on the fact that on this island, it's very seasonal, and every season there's fruit, and they're being planted and cultivated and everything. And so all of a sudden, like, the weather changes from season to season. So your plants will change from season to season. And you're collecting these fruits, you're sowing the seed, and then you're planting the plant, and then you harvest. You're collecting all the points. And I played it only as a two-player with Mitch, and it's not a hard game at all. It was really nice because I'm sick a little bit, so I kind of wanted something a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more like casual. So we played this one, and it was actually really nice. It was like exactly what I needed because I wanted to have fun, but I don't feel so great.
How long was gameplay? I know it's not super long. Like,
I read the rules and we played the game, and it was like half an hour, but we were laughing. Like, it's not very cutthroat, but there's some parts where it's really random because you're drawing from the deck, and whatever you get, you're trying to manage that draw. Okay. So, but yeah, he held on to this one card, and I knew what it was, and he was not giving it up the whole game. So we were having fun with that, and I thought it was fun. It's not something hard, casual. Yeah, I liked it.
It's on the pile, so like I brought it back from Essen. I just haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But if you're liking it, then maybe I'll push it to the top to try it.
Yeah. That's like from something like Taiwan BG Design, something like that.
Right? It is.
It is. Yeah.
I think it came out like at Essen. And,
yes, it did. Because I grabbed it at Essen. Yeah.
Yeah, and I picked it up at BGG Con. Fun Again Games had it there, so I picked that one up.
Yeah, it looks super cute. The art looks really nice. So. Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been playing, Caryl?
Okay. It's basically stuff I brought back with me from PAX, but the one thing that I have to talk about is Cat Lady. Have you guys played that one yet?
Jeez.
So you're collecting cats, and you're basically so you have like a 3x3 grid of cards, and you either take a column or a row, and your cats score you points if you're able to feed them. So you get stuff like tuna, chicken, and milk, and If you're able to fully feed them in their requirements, you get the points they get, and then you can collect things like cat toys and costumes. And it's like Sushi Go, where if you have the most costumes, it's like pudding. If you have the most, you get so and so points. But if you didn't collect any, you get like negative something points. And then you get like unique cat toys you need to collect too. So it's like the nigiri from Sushi Go. It's super cute. And I love the drawings in it and like the little names they put on the cats. I mean, like I'm blanking on it, but they're like cat puns for some of them, and they're like after famous people, and it's just hilarious. Like, am I making this up? It was like Picatsimo or something. I don't know, stuff like that. It's super cute.
I've been hearing people talk about it, and I know in the chat that I had mentioned, I know Ambi was saying here that Cat Lady was like the second on the hotness at BGG Con. Yeah, I had no idea. Like I've been hearing a lot of people say good things. So and Beth Sobel in the chat. So welcome everybody. I should say that. Said it's a fun and light game. So I have heard good things. I heard it's like a lighter game, but super fun. I don't know. I get weary when people start talking about more cat games.
I don't think it's a bad thing. More cat games is not a bad thing. I mean, like, Sherlock Holmes came up behind me and just surprised me. It was so good. And then, yeah, more animal games for sure. I'll
you just like Sherlock Holmes because it's punny.
No, that's not why.
Just kidding.
I'm a fan of pun in games. I like puns.
Yeah. I mean, it gets you extra bounty points from me, but I mean, like, yeah, it's a good game. It wasn't called Sherlock.
Yeah, I remember at BGG Con, there was like a group of ladies and they were sitting next to me, and some lady, I don't know, she had her cat box, or cat lady box, and she started running around the table saying, yeah, and everyone was like excited to play this game. But yeah, it was pretty hot at BGG. I didn't get to play it though.
Yeah. We didn't play. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about it. I think, was it Robert? Anyways, one of the guys from the Dice Tower had done a review on it. He's like, I was surprised at how good it was. I was like, really? So now I feel like I need to try it.
Got a copy.
There you go. Bring it when you come visit.
I think I will.
Oh goodness. Oh yeah, and someone also confirmed that Sherlock is fun. So I have it. It's one we've only played the one time. Like I'd like to play it a bit more because I want to talk about it, but it's a cute one. Have you played that one, Annette? Sherlock?
No, I haven't. I know. I think Eric from What's Eric Playing. I think he has that game. I should probably play with him.
Yeah, it's better than Hanabi, just to put it up there.
Oh, I'm not a fan of Hanabi.
Great, you don't love Sherlock then.
Okay, cool.
I didn't like it either, so nope.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So I played a fun game yesterday. I'm so excited. I gotta talk about it because it's so fun. I played Halloween. So this is one Quichegames published it, and I had been so back and forth on this game for a long time. I was like, yeah, I love Halloween, I love the theme, but is the game any good? So let's start off by saying it's really cutthroat. Like it can be kind of mean. So if that is not your type of game, don't try this one. You might cry. Seriously, like I got destroyed. I played a 2-player game last night, and in Halloween, they has miniatures of the different ghosts, and the ghosts are on varying levels. So you have I don't say baby ghosts, but they're like, they're like kind of cute. And then as they get to the higher ghost levels, they get more scary. And you have different actions. Like you have like a ton of actions you can take. Like you can do scare actions, you can do haunt actions. They have these action cards you can take, but you have these little discs and you only have a certain amount of them that you can use on your board. And you have like lines that you can use with the different actions. But once you've used all these discs, you need to take a rest action to get them back. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to take any actions and the game's going to be over. So there were ways that you need to really maximize on a turn what you're doing, because there were a couple times where I didn't do as much as I should have, and I totally got undermined by my opponent. So I only had access to certain colored ghosts, and then he got rid of the colors that I could use. So I literally had to go and upgrade the base ghosts all over again to get ghosts that I could actually use for actions. Oh my gosh, it was so mean, but it was so fun. I don't know how to explain it. Like I didn't feel bad losing because I enjoyed it. So now I okay, I actually really want to play it again. And then you can fight, and they got these really cool dice. Anyway, I'm all over the place. But if you haven't tried it, I really enjoyed it. I think it's something that you should all try.
It wasn't
Yeah.
on my list before, but hearing you talk about it, I think I have to check it out now.
Oh no, you will like it. I know you will like it.
Yeah, it wasn't on my list either. And then I heard like several people at BGG saying, "Oh, it's so good, it's so good. It's my
Yeah.
number one game of the con."
Really?
And then yeah, I
Oh.
think like I don't know. I think there was Tony. He's like the bearded rogue on
Yes.
Twitter, and also Ryan from Cardboard Republic. They were both like
Oh.
just praising that game. And Mitch almost picked it up. We almost played it, but we ran out of time. There's
Yeah,
so
if you
many
get a
games.
get it. Oh, well, that's it, right? But if you get a chance, like you should try it. I mean, it may not be for everybody, especially if people don't like that kind of like meanness, as I say. You may not like it, but and you have different. You can play it with like a master variant, and so it takes some of the luck out when you play with that variant. But or you can set the game up depending on the action cards that are chosen. They give you sets you can choose if you want a game that's more based on victory points or more based on combat. So it does guide you in a direction if there's a way that you want to set the game up. So I don't know. I really liked it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Are there any other games that you want to talk to us about that you've recently played? I know I played Trois. What was it? Friday, I
Oh,
believe.
Trois, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played that in a while, and I played a 3-player game, and I really like that game. It's like it's like one of my top favorite games. I don't know. There's just something about that game that I love the artwork. It's like medieval. Lots of people don't like the artwork to it,
Yeah, I've
but
heard
just
people say
like the
that.
medieval artwork to it and the events. I know it's like shared events that we all have to kind of have to like work up and kind of defeat those events so we can play the rest of the game. And I don't know, for some reason, like none of us were dealing with the events, and we had to roll like so many black dice. We ran out of black dice, and we ended up with like no dice to play the game with.
Oh no.
So we kind of like broke it. We were kind of like, oh man, like no one wanted to deal with it.
I like that game. I haven't played it in a long time, actually. The most recent one I played, and it wasn't even that recent, was the other one, Bruxelles.
Yeah.
That's the one I played most recently, but I think it's similar. Isn't it by the same person, or the art is by the same person? It's one or the other.
Same artist.
Same
looks
artist.
like the same.
Yeah, I believe so. But I like that one. Trois is a good one. I enjoy it.
I haven't tried either one yet. It's on the list.
Oh,
this is coming from someone who played Castles of Burgundy for the first time like a month or two ago. So
oh yay!
I know, yay! And it's like now I see what it's all about. It's like
you're talking to Feld fans here.
I know. I'm making my way up.
So, if there's nothing else you guys want to mention, we could just probably talk about the con. So,
I think everything we played was from the con, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I went to BGG Con, and the both of you went to PAX Unplugged, and I already went to BGG Con last year, so I kind of knew what to expect. So I kind of knew that there a lot of gaming was going to go on, that there's some vendors hall to it. There's 2 of them, but it's not like a Gen Con event where it's all vendor halls. Right. And so I already kind of knew what to expect from that con, but PAX Unplugged was so new. So I was wondering what you guys were expecting and what it actually had at PAX Unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to both. So, I spent time with you last year, which I really enjoyed at BGG Con. And then this year I went to PAX Unplugged, and there are definite differences. So, I mean, I don't know if, Caryl, have you been to BGG Con?
I have not, actually.
Oh,
I've
you
only
haven't?
been to like Origins, Gen Con, that kind of cons.
Okay, so maybe I can give the perspective of the differences between the two, I guess.
I would love to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so BGG Con I found for me was even though I was kind of working, it still had time for lots of gaming. Like there were tables available. The game room was big. You had lots of these are the hot games, try these out. There were vendors. So get a little bit of everything, but really, in my opinion, the focus was games, playing games, getting to kind of reconnect with people. That part was great. PAX is a bit different. I found PAX to be a lot of first-time people to cons. Like this was their first con ever. And so they were like, oh, this is new and it's fun. It's a nice con. And it's a nice one for people who are going for the first time because it's not as crazy as Gen Con. I didn't find it as super relaxed as BGG Con. Like you still have a lot of the vendors, but I don't think people were there to buy a lot. I'm not saying that sales weren't high or that didn't happen, but I didn't get the feeling that people were there specifically like, okay, I need this game. I got to buy this game. It wasn't like that. But then at the same time, I didn't feel that people were there, okay, let's sit down and do like all night gaming. And you didn't get that either. So it had a small bit of everything. Nothing was like to the extreme. Not a lot of people going there for specific games. Not a lot of people like going there just specifically to game because the gaming area is not like BGG Con at all. Like a lot of us were gaming in hotels or a lot of us were gaming on outside places from the venue. So the setup was a bit different.
Was there even like a table area or table space?
They did have one. They did have an area for you to play games, and they had kind of like a hotness section that people could go and try things out. But it's not like BGG. So you'll still get some gaming, and that's totally not what I'm saying at all, but it's just not to that extent. So yeah, I don't know. So that's just from my position from attending both of them. I find them to be two different cons.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, in PAX, it was the demo area, which was open from like exhibit hall hours all the way to midnight, and it was mixed in with the free play. And then they did something new called like a first look area. So like games that weren't released yet, they were demoing those. So like you had like Meeple Circus, Altiplano.
Yeah, Altiplano.
Yeah, the alpaca game. Like stuff like that you know you get to try, but you can't buy it. Like they were there, and that was kind of cool. And I like how they put little stands for your tables where it's like, oh, we're looking for more players. Oh, our table is full. Like it was like color coordinated and everything too. So like if you wanted to join in a game, you could just sit down and just be like, oh, you're looking for another player. Teach me this game, and it's just kind of more inviting that way. But it definitely was geared more toward people who were newer to the hobby, I feel.
Right.
And I feel a lot of the vendor presences were, they were a little bit laid back too, because like, what do you call it? Fantasy Flight and Asmodee were both there, but they only had demo tables. They didn't have any stock to sell, which was super weird.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't like. I was looking for like an L5R mat, and they're like pointing me to like other booths, and it's like, oh, maybe these guys have it. We didn't bring anything with us, and it's like that's really weird because like Gen Con, they've got like the biggest booth there is, or something, right? Right. I don't know. It's super weird, and like you know, at Gen Con, like things like Spirit Island, Ex Libris, those things sold out right away, and then at PAX, they were just still there plenty, especially Spirit Island because like it's super hot right now. It just came back into print. You probably won't find it in stores until like this week or maybe the week after. It's like, oh, they still have lots of copies, and it's like, you know, people should be jumping at that. But it's just a different kind of crowd, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a lot of new people, I don't know. If I'm barely getting into a hobby, I don't want to like spend all my money on one game. I want to do a little bit more research and stuff. So I could see why they didn't really sell out of too many games, and there was more like demos, space, and such. But what did you want?
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just saying I don't even necessarily know if it wasn't gamers. It's almost just seemed like some of them were gamers, but just this was their first con.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know, because at BGG, it was just about all the gaming, as much gaming as you can do, as Ambi can attest to, because I know I ran into Ambi and her husband Toby at the end of the con, and they were like, we played over 50 games,
oh my God.
which is what you do at BGG Con, like you play as many games as you can with as many people, because I know I talk a lot online and such, so all these people I talk with online, it's the only time I can actually talk with them and chat with them live. So just meeting the people and also playing as many games with them is always fun.
Yeah, I missed out on that because I really had a good time at BGG with you and Mitch and everybody. That's a whole other podcast. We had stories there. We had a good time, you know, so I missed that part of it, you know, like the closeness of connecting with everybody. But this was a new experience. So, you know, I thought I'd give it a try. And jumping in here, Robert. Hi, Robert. has a statement here. Could it, or a question, could it be that it was a lot of people's first board game con because PAX brought in people from their video game following? So
I think that's really fair to say, to be honest. Like, the people I met there were people that I actually ran into from like PAX East, and it was just so weird to like see the overlap. And like, you know, I think naturally, if you like video games, most likely you're gonna like board games or vice versa, right? Like, it's game, and it was just really interesting to see that too, and like how people were just so willing to play, but they didn't necessarily know what was going to be sold there. But I mean, like, it was the first PAX Unplugged, and I don't know, it could just be testing the waters, but I don't know.
Yeah, I did get a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I attended PAX," you know, and then they were like, "Oh, but this is, you know, our first, like, the PAX Unplugged. We thought we'd just check it out." You know what I mean? I got a lot of that. So, and then they'd ask me if I'd been to any other PAX, and I'm like, "No, this is my first PAX, just this one, the new one, and that's it." So, yeah, I could definitely see that crossover. People like coming in because they heard this was happening and they had attended previous ones. So, oh, and then someone said here that falls in line with what Jamie from the Secret Cabal commented regarding PAX. So, yeah, so I think people are, especially media people, were probably all feeling or having the same thoughts regarding PAX.
Was it a 24-hour con too, where it was open, the doors were open constantly, or was there a time that they closed?
Caryl, you would better answer this because I know you were there longer hours than I was, but
Yeah, they definitely closed at like 12, and they had like panels and stuff, and like the exhibit hall closed around 5 or 6. And there were no 24-hour gaming halls or anything like that. Not like Gen Con at all. Like, it was just very controlled. And if you wanted to play games afterward, like, you would have to do it at restaurants or your hotel lobby, and that would pretty much be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people attended PAX Unplugged?
Oh,
I feel like I know someone mentioned this and the numbers got out of my head. Do you remember, Caryl?
I don't remember ever knowing the answer to that, but the crowd felt like Origins. Like, it was like to a point where I could like go in the middle of the hall and just stick my arms out and just like kind of do a twirl, not hit anyone, right?
Yeah,
But
it
still,
was. Yeah, it says here. I'm trying to think. I'm actually looking it up online to see. I don't see numbers here. I'm looking. It's showing me other numbers, but
Yeah, I know at BGG Con there's 2,900 people, so almost 3,000 people.
okay,
And over 500 pounds of chicken tenders were eaten.
I like how relevant that is.
I know, right? Now I'm really curious, but I definitely think it was a lot. They sold out.
Only Saturday sold out. The 3D passes and Friday and Sunday, like those ones still had tickets.
Okay, because I saw people saying that they had to get wristbands because they didn't have enough.
Oh, those were for badges. That was another story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't get the whole story on that, but I just was told that some people had to get wristbands versus.
Yeah, there were not enough like plastic badges to go around, but they still had like tickets for you to enter, which was really weird.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. They had the wristbands. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, because I know at BGG Con it was like it's 24 hours. So the gaming hall where all the tables are at, they're open constantly. There's like the hot tables where you have the hot games at, and that kind of closes at midnight, and they reopen it early in the morning. But it's just because those games are so hot and they're set up and everything, so they just close that area out, and it's it's not attended late at night. But all the rest of the hall is open. The vendor hall is closed. I think they open it like at 10 in the morning and they close it at 6 p.m. But it's open from like Wednesday through Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So there's always time to go in and get a game, and it was never too busy. I think the only time it was really busy was on Saturday when the Venus Next came in.
Okay.
And because they didn't come in earlier or they didn't come in on time, so everyone had to wait for Venus Next to come in on Saturday.
Oh.
And then I lined up for it because I love Terraforming Mars, and they didn't have the games. Like at 10 a.m. on Saturday, the games were still not there.
Really?
So we had to put our name like on a sheet, and then they said, "Well, come back later. It should be later."
And it still wasn't, right?
And it wasn't until that afternoon. And then once I saw a picture like on Twitter, I saw someone walking around with it. I ran in to get it. and I posted my game on Twitter just to let everyone know it was
That
here.
it was there. Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
too funny.
But yeah, so to just go over like, of course, all the gaming that we did at BGG Con and PAX Unplugged. So what are some games that were your standout games? What are your top like 2 or 3 games of the con? And I don't know, I guess I'll go ahead and start with
Yeah.
my number one game. But my number one game has to be Agra, and that game is a beast.
I have it. Haven't played it yet.
I know, I couldn't even get it, but it was at the hot tables, and
Oh,
Mitch and
okay.
I, like, we really wanted to play it. We're like, we come to BGG, we can't just play small games. We got to get one big heavy game in,
Yeah.
and that was the one heavy game we got in, and it was at the hot tables, and no one knew how to teach the game, and the book is like 28 pages long, and it's like all reading material. There's like little examples in there, but it was hefty. And so we found this other guy who was willing to like learn it with us and play it with us. And so it was the 3 of us. And I walked around the hall asking for someone to teach us. And no one was like volunteering until I saw Ryan. He's from the Cardboard Republic.
Yes.
And he played it earlier. And I grabbed him. I was like, "Can you please teach me?" And so he came by later on and he taught us the game. And it took him about a little over half an hour to teach us the game. And then we started playing, and it took us over 3 hours to play it. And
Wow.
yeah, it was an intense game. Like, we were really involved with it. And all it is just converting resources. So it's just a conversion. It's a worker placement. You're placing these meeples on certain areas. They're doing certain tasks. There's only like 4 locations you can really go to, and you can do like 4 things, but you can also meditate, which gives you an extra bonus action. But then, but then the thing is, like, if you meditate, you lay your worker down, and then if someone gets there, they don't reactivate it, because if someone bumps you off, you get a special bonus. But if you're meditating, you don't. And so it's just like, it's very elaborate. There's a lot of rules involved. And all you're doing is trying to move up this track. And you do so many actions just to push that little cube up this track that at the end we were scoring, I don't know, not that many points at all. Actually, we only scored like maybe 50 points.
Oh, wow.
But,
I
yeah.
did hear that, though, what you're saying. I heard that it was quite the beast to learn. And I heard the rule book was a little iffy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the same maker as La Granja. And
Okay.
I don't know if you read that rule book, but that rule book kind of goes all over the place. It's very detailed, but
Yes.
you got to know where to find those details. And so it's the same thing with Agra too.
Okay. Do you find it overly complicated? Like I like my friend Jose, bless him, he has actually offered to take it. He's organized it for me. He's like, whenever you're ready, I'll teach it to you.
Right.
So did you find it overly complex, like convoluted, or?
No, actually, when Ryan taught us the game, like, he was our savior pretty much, because he taught it so well and it makes sense on the board. Like, yeah, there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of things going on, but it makes sense, and the game board too is like so beautiful to look at. So like in between turns, like I'm just like nitpicking at the little artwork and details on the board. And so there's a lot of distractions on the board too, and there's a lot to think about for your turn. But I think it all makes sense. Like, you lay your people down if you're meditating. So it's just like the little details. Yeah, they work out.
It's a beautiful game. I mean, it's really nice looking. So definitely excited to try that. Oh, I'm so jealous you got to try it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna jump in the chat quickly here. So I believe it's if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, please tell me. Was Azul available at BGG, and was it available at PAX?
Definitely not at PAX.
Okay, so PAX didn't have it, and it wasn't at BGG.
Nope, because I pre-ordered it from Fun Again Games, and they told me it was not there. So all the games that I saw that were there belonged to people that already picked it up from Essen. I think I had it, and I asked her, or I asked them where they had it. where they got it, and they said, "Oh, okay, I got it at Essen," so I knew it was their copy.
That's okay. Because yeah, I had mine as a review copy in advance, but yeah, most people got it at Essen with the new tiles and everything. And I thought, wow, yeah, because so this person here, I had said that it was basically saying that not being available for purchase at the con was a serious mistake, and I kind of have to agree because a lot of people really, really wanted that game. Like I know I did a review on it, and people like, oh, like I really like that. Where can I get it? So
Yeah.
yeah. So it was okay. Here we go. Available to play at BGG Con, but not buy.
Yeah.
Wow. And okay, well that's nice if you offer to walk around and teach it to people, but
Yeah.
that's interesting. Okay, sorry, I had to jump in that.
Well, I messaged Plan B to see if there would be a PAX Unplugged because I wanted both Azul and the Golem Century Edition, or Century Golem Edition. Yeah. And they said they weren't going to PAX this year. Like they were only going to be at Essen, and then I think that was it for the year.
Wow, that could have been. They could have sold because those are really pretty and like really good games, you know. So, oh my goodness. And Beth Sobel, who. Yes, I'm obsessed with her art. Yes, and she's in our chat, so this makes me happy. Says that she really her tops were Azul and Altiplano. So, well, when we get to B, I'll talk about that. But yeah, that Altiplano was.
Well, actually, just to interrupt real quick, I got this pin. I don't know if you could see it, but
I saw those.
Yeah, Beth Sobel made this. Gave me one.
I want one. Can I buy those, or are they? Did she just give them away?
Yeah, she was just giving them away, but
to be fair, I don't really see Beth, so maybe the next time I see her at a con, I will. Yes. Yeah. Next so far. So, Caryl, what about you?
Okay. Well, one of them I played with you, Mandi, and it was Pie Town.
Oh!
It's, if you don't know what it is, it's basically like Alchemist's Light. And you're baking pies, but of course, pies is super serious and super cutthroat. People have like secret recipes where you get to like choose like, you know, the different ingredients. There could be like apples and pumpkins and different colored apples and things like that. And you put it in this little box so no one knows what your secret recipe is. And like you score points based on like the different things that you're making. So like, you know, obviously your secret recipe scores you the most. So it's really risky to bake your secret recipe in front of everyone because that gives them information going like, oh, so you might have this and this and this in your secret recipe. And like at the end, you get a chance to try and guess what people's secret recipes were to get points at the end. And then like during the game, you can also bake those and, you know, secretly show people like, is this your secret recipe? Oh, it's so fun. Like it's basically a worker placement, but with your dice without like the die rolling. Like the dice is basically a spin down. So like you move it up and down and that's all it's really used for. It's so good. It's just so good.
Yeah. I want to try that one.
Okay. Have you even tried it yet?
No, not yet. I should be getting to copy soon though.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely need to have one. It was fun. Well, for those who saw me at PAX, I was showing that game for majority of PAX, so I know it really well if you want me to teach it to you.
So good.
It was good. A lot of people really liked it, and the deduction part, which is not always a big thing for people. Not everybody really likes that, and I think it worked well here because it wasn't overtaking the game. It was a major element, but it didn't seem like it was the main thing. I don't know how to explain that, but it was fun.
So when I first heard about the game, I thought it was just like dice, like worker, but also with dice placement. I didn't know that it was actually deduction. So
yes, yeah, I think that part is like very
even more interested.
Yes, so good, and I like it because like you're reading people a little bit. Like I looked over to Mandi as soon as we chose our secret recipes, and I'm like, I think you have a strawberry in your recipe, and she goes to me, she's like, what? No. She gives me like the straightest answer, and then like she had to leave mid-game, so I took a look at her little tuck box, and there was a strawberry in there.
What can I say? I'm predictable. I can't help it.
It's so fun.
I literally choose the same recipe every time: 2 red apples and a strawberry.
Thank you for letting me know.
No problem. I have to switch it up now, but you know. Oh goodness, that's a good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it is. And then
so what was your favorite game too, Mandi?
Oh yeah.
So, wait, no, go ahead, Caryl. Did you want to say something before I start?
Yeah, what did you
I was just going to talk about Root because I was demoing it all weekend, but like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
Yeah, like,
yeah.
we're both like, yeah.
No, so I was demoing Root for Leader Games all weekend, and it's the asymmetrical area control coin game by Cole Werlo. I can never say his name, but he did PAX Premiere,
Okay.
and it's like it's interesting because like they have like little animal characters like in Redwall, and they're all trying to control the land and get to like 40 points to win, and then everyone's asymmetrical too, so everyone plays in like very different ways. It was just super interesting playing that the entire weekend and never seeing one game play exactly like the rest, because I don't know, I had like 12 different groups play that one.
Oh, wow.
And everyone won in different ways and as different characters.
Oh, neat.
And like if you look at the art, it's super cute. It's like cats and bunnies and like foxes and stuff.
Yeah, I really like the artwork in it.
Yeah, it's really, really cute. It's on. Is it still on Kickstarter or is it over?
It just finished.
Just finished. Okay.
On Tuesday, I believe. Yeah. So
Okay.
they reached I think 630,000.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's really good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the other highlight of my weekend. But
No, look good. I know a lot of people have been talking about it. I know Suzanne, for example, that was one that she was really interested in as well. So it's super cute, and she's like, the gameplay looks interesting. So yeah, and Beth has commented here too that the art is great. I totally agree. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, I did see a demo for it at BGG.
oh yeah, Cole's
Maybe I must
probably
have
doing
missed it,
that.
but I didn't see it there.
It wasn't there, or was there?
No, I didn't see it. I know there were
really?
some tables that were set up for demos, but I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I passed it by, but I didn't take notice.
Oh, okay. Because I think the designer went to BGG and everyone else went to PAX. Is what happened.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that because I might be wrong, but I think that's what happened. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. So the game that I like, so the game that I'm picking is actually from Essen, but I didn't really get a chance to play as many games as I would have liked at PAX, but it'll be new for most people, and it's Altiplano. So I really liked Altiplano.
Yes.
I like the theme. I don't know. And the theme, people are like, I don't get it. I don't connect to it. Well, I liked it and it appealed to me. I even like the art, which I have a few friends that were not crazy about the art. I liked it. So if you're familiar with Orléans, it's kind of in the similar vein as that. So, you have you have your the bag pulling mechanism where you have your tokens that go in the bag, you pull them out, and then you're going to use these tokens on the board for actions or completing actions on the boards. And it's literally very similar to Orléans if you've played it. I did find, and I was just talking to Beth briefly in the chat here, I did find it dragged a little bit. Like it was felt a little bit long near the end, but I really, really liked the game. So I don't know if it's just because it was like we were still learning and trying to figure it out. I'd be curious to see once I play it a few more times if that still happens. But honestly, like I still love the game. I think I actually like it better than Orléans. And I like Orléans a lot, so, but I think I like it better.
Yeah.
So
how many players did you play it with?
3.
3. Okay. How long did it take?
A while. It took like but to be fair, it was our learning game. So we were trying to figure stuff out, and there were a couple areas on the board. Like I had to call message Suzanne. I'm like, does this spot do this? Because it wasn't 100% clear and she had played it already. So I would say it was close to a few hours.
Yeah.
But it should not have taken that long. It probably should have taken at most like a couple hours, but it did feel like at the end it was pulling a little bit, but it still didn't make me dislike the game. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I played it. I think I played it like 4 times already, and I know when I played it the first time, it was like 5 players, and it took really long. And
5 players.
Some people were just like, "Oh, this is taking too long." But what I found out too is that if you're not a fan of Orléans, like this is not going to change your mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you're a fan of Orléans, then you should pretty much like this game too. But yeah, I've taught it to several people and which like Orléans, and they really like this game too.
Yeah.
I think I played it with Meeple Lady with G.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I played it with her and she loved it. I think that was her game of the year, or not the year, but the con. And she really liked it a lot. And that first player marker is great. It's like huge. It's like a big like llama or alpaca that's about this big. And I put googly eyes on mine.
Of course you did.
Yeah, it needs it.
Oh, that's too funny. It's very cute. I mean, the first that was everything right there. And I thought of you instantly. I'm like, yep, this is definitely an Annette game right here, just for the art alone with this first player token. So
Yeah, I got so many messages when it was first announced.
exactly. And you know that Renegade is taking over distribution for that in
Yeah,
North
which I'm
America.
really surprised about.
Me too. I was like, what? This is interesting. But
Right.
they've been on a roll these days, so see what they
Yeah.
do with it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm reading Beth's messages here. She says, all the games I've played have been building tile intensive. I think if you don't buy them, it slows way down. 1 round per tile is a lot of rounds. Is that relating to... Oh, I know they were talking about Azul in there, so I have a feeling it might be relating to that.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
Which is another game that I really liked at BGG Con. I think this was one of my favorites too, which was Azul. Unfortunately, it wasn't available to purchase, but...
Okay, yeah. It is Altiplano. At first, I thought Altiplano, and I'm like, okay, I just don't call them tiles. I think that's why I got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Altiplano. Yeah. Okay. No, okay, that makes more sense.
Good. You know what?
Now that I'm reading her comment, yeah, okay, now I see what she's saying. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. If you don't, when you're buying less of the tokens or whatever, it does take longer. It's true. If you don't buy the tiles in the game time,
those extensions.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. No, she's 100% right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I played a 3-player game. I think this past week, and it went by really fast. I think we played it in an hour and a half because of those extensions. I kept on buying them because I was like, we got to end this game because I'm winning.
Because I'm winning. That's usually what you want to do, right? Exactly.
Right.
Sorry, you mentioned Azul, but you liked Azul, and I know we've played it, Caryl, but I haven't played it with the new Joker tiles yet. So.
Yeah. So that's what I liked about like BGG Con is that they have the hot tables.
Yeah.
And so they had like the really nice like felt top with like the indents on the side and the cup holders and everything. So it made it really presentable because before it was just a regular table, but with the hot tables on the hot games on those tables, like it made the experience a lot better. But those games of Azul were just going like quick. They're quick. Yeah. Like you have to be right there at the right moment to jump on that table at the right time.
It's true.
Everyone, I think that was the #1 game of BTG.
Do you think this is a shoe-in for a nomination for, one of the awards? Potentially Spiel or one of the others?
I think so. It's so easy to teach.
To be, honestly.
What's that?
It ought to be.
Yeah. No, and I've heard people kind of rumbling about that, like talking about that, so I think it would be in my opinion, it's a shoe-in, but yeah, I think so.
Who designed that game? I don't even know who designed it. But whoever designed it is...
I will find out right now. It is... Internet, don't fail me now. Oh, it is. Okay, it is. Michael Kiesling.
Okay. Yep.
Why do I feel I know that? Yeah, okay, no, I did know that. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, he did Adventureland. Maybe that's where he did.
And actually, he also did I think, and somebody else did Heaven and Ale, which I just got yesterday.
Oh, I wanted to play that one.
Yeah, it just came in the mail yesterday, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did Heaven and Ale. I just looked.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's made so many games.
Yeah, Caryl, when you come down, we're gonna have a lot of games to play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he made like 4 games at Essen. Like 4 of his games came out in Essen this year. He's been busy.
Been very busy. That's too funny.
He also did Tikal. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's been around for a while.
And he also did, wait, no, there's another one, Riverboat. That's the other one.
Oh, he made Riverboat too?
He did Riverboat. I know this because Suzanne is a big fan of Michael Kiesling, and she's like, I need to get this. And I was like, okay, looks good. I'll get it.
Yeah, I didn't get to play Riverboat. I know Mitch did. He got to play it. He said it was pretty good.
He liked it? Okay, yeah, I haven't played it yet, so making my way through the stack of games, but...
Yeah. So, making your way through the stack of games, so which games did you bring home?
From
I brought home a lot of games.
So I'm just coming off of Essen, right? So I had a ton from Essen. Most of the games I brought home from PAX were what did I have? Oh, Alien Artifacts came with me.
Mhm.
But I'll be passing that along to someone else afterward as well to take a look at. Wow, I actually had a lot of games that came back with me, but they were not recent. Entropy from Passport. Is it Citadels of Time? No, Citadels. That
Professor something, Citadel
Professor
of Time.
Evil, Citadels of Time or
Yeah.
something. That one came back with me. I tried to snag one from Daily Magic, but he's like, it's not available yet. Birdie Fight, but I think they renamed it.
Oh yeah, Songbirds.
Songbirds, that's it, exactly. So they have picked up the, I guess, publishing of that game, and I guess they're just revamping the rules a little bit. So I really want, I'm like, I'll just buy that one. He's like, it's the only one they have, and he's like, they are changing it. So I was like, fine. So I have to wait. It's super cute.
Yeah, I have that one.
Oh, you
I had
have it?
Nicholas. Nicholas gave me that game. It was a gizmo, I guess. Gizmo was like influenced.
I feel there are more on my list. There, and obviously a few things from Renegade, like Ex Libris. I had Pytown already. Flatline, which I had played once with a friend. I brought that home. So I didn't bring home newer things because I had already got them all from Essen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my Essen pile, if anyone wants to, I won't list all of it. It's on Instagram. You can view it there. But yeah, but no, it was mostly just things that I was bringing home to review or things like that. So nothing major new. Alien Artifacts is probably the one that would be the newest in the group.
Okay. Did you also bring back Kepler?
I had Kepler from Essen.
Oh, you did?
I played it already. I played it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're going to save that one for another stream. Yeah, it's not bad. I've only played it once, so it would be really unfair for me to say whether I liked it or not. I just didn't find it as intuitive as some of the other games that are of that same type. There are a few other things. I don't know how well it plays out in the game, and like I said, first playthrough, so I was learning, so I really need to play it again before I give an official review or opinion.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of Essen games there at PAX Unplugged to purchase?
I didn't think so, but Caryl, you might know better than I didn't see very many, to be honest.
I don't think so, honestly. No. Not a lot of new releases. I think the only new release was Venus Next from Stronghold. Yeah. And then that one also came a day late or something.
They didn't have Noria there.
Right. That's the one game I wanted. Another game I wanted.
Yeah, I didn't get Noria either, actually. I said in Essen, I said if it's going to be North American distribution with Stronghold, it didn't make sense for me to buy it in Essen, where it's going to be way more expensive. I'll just wait till it comes to North America, and then I'll just get it here. So,
cool.
What about
so what about you, Caryl? Did you bring it?
Sorry, I just jumped in there. Nope, ignore me.
Well, I basically got stuff that I can't get in Canada right now, or that I have to wait for. So I grabbed Hunt for the Ring from Ares, which is the hidden movement game with Lord of the Rings. So it's one versus many, but the many usually in things like Letters from Whitechapel or Stop Till You Feel Like You're the Good Guys. But the many in this one is the Nazgul. So you're the bad guys. You're looking for Frodo, who has the ring, and then there's a reversible sideboard, so there's a part 1 and a part 2, and I haven't tried it yet. I didn't even demo it. I just blindly bought it because it was right there in front of me, and I've been waiting for that since Gen Con, and it didn't make a Gen Con release, so I had to get it. I just have a good feeling about it, so don't ask me how it is yet. I think it'll be good. I also grabbed Cytosis, the cell biology game, that one that Jamie Stegmaier thing, right? Yeah.
I have it. It's in plastic. How was it?
I don't know yet. Mine's still in plastic too. I got things that would be hard for me to find. It was a Kickstarter game. I don't know how easy it'll be to find in retail or whatever. So it was there. The publisher's there. So why not just support them and just grab it? I had a good feeling about that one too.
Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, I love biology, so I'm I had to back it instant. It was an instant back for me.
Yeah, I backed it too. I haven't played it.
I've heard a lot of comparisons to that with Lords of Waterdeep, which is really interesting.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that's true
Okay.
yet. We'll find out, but yeah.
But I had some lovely ladies who came to the booth when I was at Renegade helping out, and they said they had played it, Cytosis, and they said they really liked it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so they said definitely one I should try. They're like, if you like, you know, the biology, you'll understand some of those things a bit better. So they said it was good, really, really good.
Okay, yeah, like
Cool.
yeah, I mean that's reassuring, but yeah. What else did I grab? Oh, I also got Favelas and Cat Lady, which is where I got there. Yes.
I want favelas. It's so pretty.
It's beautiful.
have
I
you
love
played
it more
it
than
yet?
number 9.
Favelas?
That I actually did.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you play it?
I did.
No,
I
I haven't
demoed
played
it.
You did?
You haven't yet. Oh.
Listen, I haven't played a lot. It's been busy.
Yeah. That one I actually had time to demo because it looked beautiful. I wanted to know more about it. It was like a 10-minute demo to do like one full round, and I fell in love with it. It's so good.
I
liked
wanted it at
better than
Essen,
number 9.
but at Essen, I was like, oh, the lineup was too long, and honestly, like, we were running around. I'm like, I didn't have time to sit and wait, and I said, I'll just wait till it comes to North America.
Yeah.
So I'll just
that's
play your copy.
It was something I couldn't wait for. Like, it was just so good. Yeah, it was just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a copy of Favelas too. I picked that one up at BGG Con as
you
well.
did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
I even
just
saw Chris Bryant. He's a designer.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
Yeah, I got him to sign my copy, and then I didn't notice when I was learning the game. I was trying to read it from the book, and Travis Hill, from Low Player Count, he tapped me on the shoulder. He's all like, "If you need anyone to help you," he's all, "I think I can help you with it." And he points out his name on the rule book because he was the editor.
That's awesome.
So I was like, "Oh, since you're the editor, why don't you sign it?" So I made him sign the rule book too.
That's so good.
Yeah, but that game is good. Like, I liked it. I like splitting your pieces. It's a lot more thinky than you would think.
It definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah, but I purchased a lot of games, as no surprise.
Yeah.
I came home with I think over 20 games. Because I didn't go to Essen, I didn't go to Gen Con, I haven't gone to any of these big conventions throughout the year, and that's my big convention, BGG Con. So I finally got to pick up like Ex Libris and Santa Maria and Merlin, which is another great Steffenfeld game. You should play it if you haven't played it.
I have. I talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's did you like? I liked it, but it wasn't a love for me. But I liked it.
You know what? I think it was a solid game. I thought it was not like one of his it's not like Trajan.
Right.
It's not like Luna. It's not like the number one of his games, but it's way better than Oracle.
Why do people hate Oracle so much? I don't hate it that much. I mean, yeah. What do you?
Yeah,
you don't like
it? I didn't like it so much. No, really? I don't like it so much. I was a little disappointed with it. And then when I saw Merlin, I was like, oh, I don't want to get my hopes up. And then I played it, and I was like, yes, okay, this is good.
That's funny. I did mind Oracle. It was definitely different than what he's done, but I actually didn't mind Oracle of Delphi at all. But see, for like Merlin, for me, I haven't played with the extra bits yet. I just played like the basic game. And really, when people start saying, oh, it's the dice, it's all luck, I'm like, no. Plan your actions better. Don't blame the dice. Because you have things to help you manipulate the dice, right?
Well, not only, like, people are saying, oh, it's only the apples. Like, you can only manipulate it with the apples. I'm like, no, you can manipulate your position, too. Not just the dice, but your position, which is like helpful, you know. It's not that you have to just mitigate the dice. You have to mitigate the position because the dice move you from where you're at.
Yeah.
So
like, don't even get me started on that whole thing. I'm like, don't blame the dice.
I know. I want to get into it right now.
I know, right? I'm like, no. So I liked it. I need to play it with the extra bits. It's not like a love like some of his other ones, but I liked it. Like, it wasn't horrible. Like, people are like panning it. I liked it. I didn't hate it, but I definitely need to play it more, I think, with some of the extra bits. So
Yeah.
sorry, I had to jump in on Merlin because people are hating on it, and it's not a hate. Just give it a
I don't
chance.
think so. I don't think it's a hate. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I'm glad. He makes me proud. He made me proud with this one. But yeah, I picked up so many games. I can go through them, but there's a picture on Twitter that has all the games in a picture, and it's also on my Instagram, which you can look at. But it's too many games for me to list. And I'll go ahead and go over them in my acquisitions and impressions video, which should come up next month.
Oh yeah, you are on top of that. That's really good. I'm like, yeah, here's a picture. I will get to these eventually, but no, you're on top of it. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's my one consistent video.
That's awesome. I wish. That's really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did get Birdie's on. Thanks, AI. So Nicholas got me Birdie Fight too.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were just talking about that. That's great. That's a great one that you're able to get because it
It's so
does look
cute.
cute.
It's
Yeah.
freaking adorable. Yeah, but also just to go ahead and talk or answer some questions for people that I asked on Twitter. So I know that we kind of went over this a little bit, but I Heart Museums, Nicole, she asked like what was the vibe at PAX, which we kind of went over. But also how much gaming was there? Any hype games or anything of PAX that you noticed?
Not really. Like, I mean, like the biggest hype game I would even say there would probably be the Fallout board game because like the line to demo that like looped around their booth. But other than that, it was just kind of like stuff that if you waited a couple of weeks, it'd make it to retail anyway. Like it wasn't stuff that you'd get like months ahead, like something at Gen Con. And the overall vibe was just super laid back. I don't know if that's your impression, Mandi, but
No, you nailed it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Not that. Hold on, we're making it sound like it was disappointing, and it wasn't.
No!
Like, because we just sound so like somber and like
No, it's just I'm trying to make it sound like a matter of fact. Like
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like small vendor booths, super small. It reminded me a lot of Origins, is what I would say. But
yeah,
even smaller, more casual than Origins, definitely.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But
Cool. And also, GamesTopper from Twitter also asked, "What's your favorite hotness that was in the hot games room?" So, I think I answered that with Azul. Azul was my hot. Did they have a hot area, hot games at PAX Unplugged too?
No.
It's
not
well,
that
they had
I
an
saw.
area. No, they had like an area that said like no. Someone told me I hadn't seen it, but this is what one of the attendees had told me that they have like I don't know if it's a glass casing or something that shows hot games, but I don't even necessarily think they were available to play.
Oh.
Ooh, I didn't see that, definitely.
No, I never saw it either. So, but someone mentioned to me there's like an area where it shows you hot games, but I don't know if they were available to play.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the free play area there was like one giant area where you could like borrow games and just play it. I don't know
maybe they had them there.
Maybe I didn't really.
I didn't see it. And
I saw
you actually walked around more than I did, and you didn't see it. So,
but I was also only in the exhibit hall. Like there's like I don't know those like ballrooms and stuff for panels and whatnot.
Yeah, because I walked around because I did a panel, and I honest to goodness did not like a BGG Con. The hotness, it's there, like you see it. So at PAX for me, if they did have that, I was told by an attendee, and I still didn't even end up seeing it. So that could maybe be something that they have more of a focus.
For sure.
Yeah, because at BGG Con, they have like the hot games list like on the website, and they also have it available there. So you can type in your favorite game of the con, and then it has like a projector posting all the games that people are voting for. But cool. And then also you mentioned panels too.
Yeah.
So that was a little different than the BGG Con. Was the fact that BGG Con doesn't have any panels.
I forgot about
it's a lot of meetups with like podcasts or YouTube channels and such, but really there's no panels. So I found that a little different.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, like I did one for as a Dice Tower for family gaming, and I showed 3 games to tables, and it was great. Like I had people with children, so families, and other people that weren't with families but wanted to learn these types of games, and it was really nice. People were great. Wow, some kids are. I think one of these young kids. It's on my Facebook. If you're on my Facebook page, he was the most adorable thing ever. And he was so cutthroat. He'd like play cards in Dragon's Horde. Ooh, I get to skip daddy. Okay. And then plays it. I'm like, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. He was having a blast. I'm like, you go. His dad's like laughing. He's like, he's having so much fun. So stuff like that was really great. So, and I know I did a teach and play. Rodney Smith did a teach and play. I feel somebody else did a teach and play as well. I'm not coming to mind, but I think there were about 3 of us who had those kind of short panels, and they were fun, and they were very accommodating, really, really good. Like, even like, hey, are you hungry? We'll get you something to eat, and helping set up the tables and the projectors. They were awesome. So the team there was really, really attentive and great for the panels, and they even helped walk around and make sure everyone was doing okay. So it was great.
That's great. That's a lot different than BGG, but yeah, I've been seeing some of the videos of some of the panels that were posted, and it's really great quality too. I think that's what comes with the packs.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I didn't do the live Dice Tower one because I was running around doing other things, but that even looked really, really good because I know we had our Essen one and it was like, the quality wasn't great for sound, but we work with what we're given, and the packs, they had a really great system. So yeah, it's quite good.
So then Fitzsimon from Twitter asked, does con crud refer to an actual cold, or just being wiped from a weekend without enough sleep while running on 115% from all the fun at the con? And I can attest that it's definitely a cold because I'm feeling it right now. I've been feeling it since like Tuesday night.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've been sick, and I thought it was just me. And Friday I went to my friend's house and I didn't say that I was sick or anything. And then when I showed up, he was sick. So I'm kind of like, yes, I don't feel so bad. But he also went to BGG Con and we're both sick from it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find I get chronic sinus infections. So for me, if I don't sleep enough, which often happens when I'm going to these cons, I try to get to bed early, but sometimes I just don't. That triggers it for me. So then people automatically assume it's con crud, which I guess kind of maybe, but it's something that I already have. It just triggers it from the lack of sleep. So I don't know if that kind of counts. And then I always end up losing my voice every single time. And yes, it did happen at PAX. I had people coming up to me. They're like, Mandi, don't forget, drink water. And because they know that I lose my voice every time. So I actually was very close to losing it, but the karaoke night probably didn't help. So tea with lots of honey.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that hotels are super dry too. Like when you sleep and I don't know, you're just so tired, your mouth is open and it just dries out your throat that by the next morning you have to take a couple cough drops right from the get-go. And honestly, that's the only way for me to survive. Just bags of Halls and Ricola and water and gum and everything just to moisturize. That's the only way for me to survive. Otherwise I get sick as soon as I get back because you're always go, and then you don't have time to work. You don't have time to get sick, but you do when you get home, and that's why usually when I get home I'm sick, right?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't have so I don't know if people know the designer Emerson Matsuchi. He usually comes around and sees me and will be like, Mandi, here you go. And he buys me a bag of Halls or throat lozenges because he's I don't want you to lose your voice again. It is the sweetest thing ever. He's such a nice man. Yeah, it's super dry. You always have to have water. You're 100% right. It just wears you down.
Yeah. And you actually lost your voice at, was it Origins?
Several places, actually. It happened at Gen Con, it happened at Origins, and it legitimately almost happened at PAX, but then I knew I had the podcast for Dice Tower the next day, and Tom would kill me if I showed up with no voice, but it was going. It legitimately was going.
Yeah. I thought I took all the precautions with staying hydrated and Halls and hand sanitizers and everything, but there's just so many people, and there's just so much touching of just not just people or one another, but passing of cubes and tokens and cards. It's just a lot of touching.
But I think sleep is the big one, honest to goodness.
Yeah,
I think if you don't sleep, you have no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
averaged about 4 hours of sleep every night.
Mhm.
That's better than most actually, but
Yeah.
yeah. But you definitely need, like, I think if you're gonna do stuff like that, 6 to 7 hours is probably what you should get to not, I don't know, exacerbate the, you know, the sickness or prevent it. But what do I know? I'm not a doctor, but I think if you get 6 to 7, I think you'd be all right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm having a coughing attack right now,
I
so
saw you.
I
I was
think
like, oh, poor thing.
so. I think I'm going to end this right now. But
Okay.
and just let us know where we can be found. And so I'll go ahead and start. So I'm Nettersplays. You can find me all over the internet. And yeah.
That's a Mandi answer right there.
Oh.
So Caryl, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Caryl Has No Tan, and I'm around everywhere.
Okay, well, me, I'm on To Die For Games. Most of you will probably see me on the Dice Tower, the podcast with Suzanne Sheldon, but I also do a teach and play Monday nights with my friend Michael, who's also on To Die For Games. And yeah, Instagram, Twitter, the whole bit. A big thank you to everyone in the chat. I know you were all having your own chat. I was kind of reading about these 15-minute games that I now need to go write down if I don't have them. So thanks for that. And thanks for joining us in the questions. And I think a lot of people will be in touch. So I think poor Annette is not feeling well. So she says bye. And we try and schedule these once a month. Right now we're running them on Annette's channel. And we'll continue to do so, but we'll try and let you know in advance what we're talking about, or if there are topics you'd like us to discuss, please let us know. So I think that's it for now. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.